like all those like I don't know, those like hardcore extremist people that are into like politics, like their videos and shit, like it's so healthy to take a break from it. You know what I mean? Like just it's too much, bro.
So what?
It's too much to like listen to people like debating, especially when they're debating politics and they're like on some weird shit that's so like far to one side that like almost no one agrees with it.
I disagree with you. I actually enjoy watching debates.
Yeah, but the thing is, like over time, it'll start to like.
Obviously, like if it's like
if you watch, yeah, go ahead.
Obviously, if you watch like the guy that believed that that fucking communist PhD dude, forgot his name, that he believed in, he was like a pure communist. He fucked with Stalin and all that shit. Like if it's on that level, like it's on some delusional shit. Like that lady that clip I tweeted the other day, where they were talking about like a female. She was saying that, oh, yeah, trans women or men can have babies or some shit. She was saying some wild shit. I forgot what it was. I tweeted it, remember? I forgot what the clip was exactly. I don't know what the setting was, but they were in some, like, courthouse.
Yeah, I saw it.
Oh, you saw the clip?
Yeah, I've seen it. It was trending.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, it became, like, a thing.
But, like, it was just cringe.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I just don't even know how to say it, like... Her point was that, like, trans women, the person was being transphobic because he was asking if men are the only, if men can have babies, yeah.
Yeah.
He asked her that, and she was like, oh, you're being, first of all, those comments are transphobic, or this and that. That's the number one thing they always resolve to.
Yeah,
they always use like my bad, but go ahead, yeah, like.
No, I feel like it's.
Dude,
fine.
I gotta drink some.
It's fine.
Water.
I've been trying to like be more like moderate, like cut that shit back a bit, like just watching that shit. Just because I found like I was watching a little bit more than I would like to.
I see what you mean.
You know what I mean? Like if you watch like whatever you watch, you know, we're people. We have fucking mirror neurons, right? We have like neurons that in our brain probably sort of imitate whatever it is that we see in our environment, and then we sort of like feel that way. Like if we're watching people just fucking be pissed off over political shit all the time, it'll have an effect. It's definitely not nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, in moderation, it's fine. Like, a lot of people watch it. I just feel like it's so fucking, like...
Yeah, I mean, focusing your whole life on politics must be a fucking headache. Like,
yeah, or, like, a significant chunk if it adds nothing to your life. You know what I mean?
I don't know how politicians can do it.
They definitely... I mean, they live off it, right? Like, Nancy Pelosi has mad bank with those stocks, bro. I love it when she buys a stock and you find out, like, a year later how much she banked off that shit.
Dude, you know how much fucking, like, acting you gotta do to be a politician, bro?
She's been acting for decades, bro, but she still sucks at it. Yeah.
So much acting, lying, just pretending, fake smiles.
I can't live like that. Well, when I was small, I had a pretty normal, like, fucking progression, you know? It went from, like, the furthest thing imaginable, or at least in terms of, like, the lottery, because it's, like, an astronaut, right? How many astronauts are there?
That's a good question.
Like, at any given moment, there are more...
Niggas ain't flying to the moon, though.
Well, yeah, not to the moon.
But just flying, period.
Yeah, they're astronauts. I mean, there's people in space right now. It's like fucking 3 of these guys, but...
Yeah, that's my point, though. It's like, it's barely, though. Like, is it like a... Is it because it costs a lot of money? Or is it because people just don't decide to become astronauts? If you had to pick, I don't know if you know.
Oh, it's definitely not something that they open a lot of jobs for.
Gotcha, okay.
You know, it's hard to go to space. Costs a lot of fucking money.
That's what I was gonna say. That's why I would imagine a lot of people wouldn't go.
Yeah, it's only now that like private companies are trying to pick up the slack and pull it off, you know? It's like the Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk competition that's been going on, that type of shit.
So wait, who's in space right now? There's people in space right now?
Yeah, and at the ISS, at the International Space Station.
Swag, that's what it's called?
Yeah, it was so awkward when there was the war in Ukraine and there was like a fucking Russian dude that pulled up.
Where?
In the International Space Station, a Russian astronaut.
Oh, okay. Oh, no way.
And everyone was like, hey, you know?
Damn, that is, yeah.
He was like, fuck, this is bullshit, you know?
Damn. So wait, the International Space Station, this is in space, right?
Yeah, it's just in space. It just floats around.
That's so...
Yeah, it's weird, but it's a weird thing that's happening. I don't know why.
What do they do up there?
That's a good fucking question. These people are engineers.
Dude, they gotta beat off.
Listen, bruh. I don't think anyone's had the balls to ask them in the little shows they do in the morning, because they do shows for like...
They never went to like a Jimmy Kimmel and like had like a guy like him ask. He definitely asked some question like that.
They do a Q&A, but for like kindergartners and shit.
Yeah, like some basic shit.
And the kid is like, hey, can you like fucking, what do you say? Like, just, what can you do with water?
Can you eat cereal? Like some basic
question. And he like
question.
just puts some water out. And
I've seen the astronaut
and just
videos.
paddles back and forth with it.
Yeah.
Like it's a ball or something.
All the food is fucking packaged in a certain way. Yeah.
That shit is unhealthy. Like being up there for that long.
That's what I'm saying. Like you get urges, bro.
There was that astronaut who was there for 2 years though.
Well, no way.
Yeah.
He beat off in space for sure.
Is that how big the urge is? Like, it's impossible, right? There's no way. Like,
you're gonna tell me you go off in a year and you're never gonna think about beating off, or even like, imagine, bro. There's no women, but you do have a phone. Swag.
There's women, but like.
Oh wait, there's women up there. Oh my God, they're fucking up there too.
I don't know, because one thing is like they're definitely like being watched type shit. This is a very.
Damn.
It's a very weird niche job. You know what
niche,
I mean?
Yeah, it's very niche.
And imagine if you're like, because these guys, you know, imagine you're just saying goodbye to your family.
They definitely make a truce up there. Like, yo, listen, what happens up here stays up here. And there's like orgies up there.
Houston be filming all that shit.
Hell yeah, bro. What? Listen, bro, if I was an astronaut, bro, and I had to be there for 2 years and there's a female there, listen, it's going down, bro.
I feel like she would have the same urge, dog.
Come on, bro.
All that time, bro. Like,
and it's just me and you, and we could like make this happen. Yeah, come on, bro. It's happening for sure.
I don't give a fuck how much work you have. I mean, they're engineers and shit, and it's obviously there's a lot of maintenance and shit.
Bro, we're human and we're not perfect.
And you got to keep all that shit there. I mean, they're the only people there that are like keeping that shit.
And we get urges, so it's like it's just a part of life. It's about a part of our body, bro. One of those days, a couple of those days of the year, you're gonna be really feeling it. Like, damn.
I feel like
some cheeks right now would be amazing.
But if you were watched, how long do you think it would take?
See, that's the problem. Nah.
If you were watched, do you think you would last the full 2 years without beating off, or would you just like be that out of control? Like, I can't. I gotta fucking like have my hand on my cock.
Like no matter
and make myself come, even though I know it's not with a woman. I just gotta do it.
Like no matter where I am in that space, I'm being watched 24/7.
Let's just assume that's the case. Fuck it, why not?
Damn, that makes it tough then, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I don't know, man, yeah. That's a good question, though. Like...
Because I know monks, they don't fucking beat off.
They're pussies, though.
Those dudes will fuck people up, bro. Those Shaolin motherfuckers.
Listen, bro.
Those dudes are in good shape, bro. They'll be 15 doing like 8 fucking cartwheels in the air and shit.
Being an astronaut is a trip, yo.
Yeah, it is.
It's just the idea that you're in a whole, like, you're in space. Like, that is, like... That's still mind-blowing. I know it's, like, been done so many times and shit, but, like... I would imagine the fucking feeling of being up there. That must be unreal.
I can imagine as well. I mean... we didn't evolve for that shit, bro. Like, we evolved to be in whatever the fuck we're in right now, just a big fucking ball called Earth.
Yeah, bro. And our minds fucking made it up there.
Yeah,
the human race, dog. We did it.
Yeah, how long did it take people to like even? I mean, if you
think of that, like even like get that idea, like yo, let's go up there.
Like if you explain to people how how the solar system really works, that we're not the center of the universe.
Yeah.
And we are a fucking spherical type thing.
Right, not flat.
And that, you know, there really is no up or down or any of that. There's just this force that pulls us down.
Yeah, all that is trippy.
People would imagine, like, they couldn't even imagine it. They'd be like, oh my God, so like, all right, so what's holding the Earth from falling down?
That would be there, yeah, I feel you.
And then that's where they end up with saying some shit like it's just turtles all the way down. You know, like that's what they say. They
that's
don't,
best.
Because this shit, like, we didn't evolve to wrap our heads around this shit, but we're looking at something that we didn't evolve to understand, which is the fucking universe. And then when you look at it, there really is no up, no down, no any of that shit. There's no center of the universe, right? That place doesn't exist in the way that the universe spread. Every part of it spreads apart equally from the rest of it.
I see what you mean.
It's fucking, it's too much to like wrap your head around. And then I keep saying this up and like there's no up and down and shit, but it takes us so much time. Like at least it took me so much time to just wrap my head around the basic fact that like gravity is just this force. Whenever there's a bunch of shit, it pushes smaller shit towards it naturally. The weird thing is like, why aren't we just floating?
Nobody really knows the real.
Yeah, nobody understands gravity.
Yeah.
They come up with shit like fucking, you know, dark matter. They're like, oh, you like look at the gravity that should be in the universe or whatever, and there's like unaccounted for amounts of gravity.
Gotcha.
So they're like, well, there must be some other shit.
They just don't know.
And we're like, what is that other shit?
Right.
And we just call it dark matter.
Well.
That's just how physicists do it. Like the most basic shit.
Okay. That's interesting. To this day, they still haven't figured that out.
No, they haven't, bro. And they've just they created, you know, a long time ago, they created the Large Hadron Collider to try to figure this shit out.
And they failed?
They're still doing shit.
Gotcha.
You know, it's just a fucking particle beam accelerator. Can you imagine this like a fucking underground place somewhere in the middle of fucking Europe? And it's like this gigantic ass fucking thing that's like 22 kilometers, Jesus. You know, in fucking radius, diameter, whatever the fuck it is.
Okay.
And it's underground, it's huge. And all of those miles are occupied just to be able to make two tiny little particles crash into each other. And then for like a split part of some millisecond, take a picture of it and then wait like a month so that you can actually see the picture, because that's how long it takes to be able to fucking see it.
Wow.
And you're making like you're simulating the beginning of the universe, how conditions were back then, by just making these little shits crash into each other and creating these little, I don't know, these little miniature black hole explosion type things. You know, they because when you crash these things, it's not like they crash, but then you see all these other particles and shit come out, and you start discovering parts and shit that you didn't even know existed. Like they found some shit called the Higgs boson, which is the one that accounts for gravity. Because I hypothesized there has to be like some sort of fucking particle or some shit like that makes gravity make sense, right? Like the shit has to come from fucking somewhere. They fucking found it. Anyways, that's the retard version. I can give you that. It's not like I fucking understand it.
Still pretty hard.
Yeah, I mean, they don't understand it. I mean, if they say they don't understand it and I'm trying to, like, fucking say it, like, imagine how stupid it sounds when I say it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, dude, I walked in some Vans today. That shit just hurt my feet.
I'm sorry to hear that, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Do you need a hug, perhaps? Maybe, like, some therapy?
I don't think I'm walking in those Vans again. But, yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that, bro.
What's any news? do we have?
There's a lot of shit that goes on, man. There's never gonna stop being a whole bunch of bullshit going on in the world. You know, right now people are. The other day they were focused on Hunter Biden.
Biden.
And 2 days, you know, somebody that had a sex change is gonna walk into the wrong bathroom and somebody's gonna bitch about that. You know. I'm just doing me, bro. I'm just doing me. I don't have time to be worried about, you know. Well, I do actually.
Well, we do have a podcast, so
I enjoy it.
We have to talk about something.
I gotta stop myself from enjoying that type of shit sometimes because I'd be like, it's so easy to get sidetracked with it.
I see what you mean.
Once you see one debate about the transgender shit, you gotta watch them all. It's like fucking Pokemon cards. You gotta catch them all.
Dude, that's me. Like recently, I'd be just watching all this shit.
Yeah, that shit caught, bro. It caught me. Nasty. I was like thinking, because for so much time, like I would see so much ideas that were like presented in TV and like popular culture. I'd be like, where the fuck do all these ideas come from?
Right.
And like once I figured out what the woke shit that it started, you know, how it started in universities, the ideas that it came up with, and like the influence it had on popular culture before we even knew it existed. And to me, it just explained a lot. It explained a lot about like the shit that gets popularized and shit like that. And I'm still coming at grips with the fact that like people, I don't know, brother, all these big ass organizations that are been saying for decades bullshit about how there's some fucking like we could microchip people and shit, and then you say, hey, they're talking about microchipping people, and then you're like, no, you're a conspiracy theorist. I'm like, no, I'm just fucking saying the same shit that they're saying.
Right.
I'm just telling you what they're saying. When they say it, you just say, oh, they're just talking, and when I say it, you say I'm a fucking conspiracy theorist for quoting them. This is why Alex Jones got pissed off a lot. I mean, don't get me wrong, he says it in a much crazier way, and he says a bunch of shit that just doesn't make any sense.
Right. Dude, did you ever see recently forgot that I watched this. Like, I think I watched it like 2 days ago. But did you ever see the Joe Rogan episode with Jack Dorsey, the dude that owns Twitter, and Tim Pool?
Yeah, where he bought his lawyer.
It was definitely not his lawyer. It was like, but yeah, it was somebody to pretty much speak for him for most things regarding Twitter. But that episode was really good. I just seen that like 2 days ago.
I saw it, but I just felt like it was...
I know it's old, but yeah.
Just felt like it was just them trying to get their own PR campaign going. Like, oh, we got on Joe Rogan. Like, we did that. You know, like, look how transparent we are.
Yeah, but Tim was on their ass, dog.
He was, but they were just...
I know, they were just bullshitting.
That lady was just giving him the lawyer talk.
The basic-ass media-trained answers. Like, yeah, but Tim had some really good points, though. Like, extremely good points. Like, why certain users are getting banned versus why, like, nobody on the left gets banned.
That shit is a road to nowhere, bro. Because, like, if you think... It's the same shit with the Hunter Biden shit. Like, you told me about how you saw the other day a video of some man who, in the middle of some conference that Biden was giving, he brought up the issue about his son.
Hunter Biden!
And he just sort of tossed that shit out the trash can. He didn't even have to say anything. No one's going to cover it. It's not going to be on CNN. And if it is, it's going to be like, oh my God, Hunter Biden, he's so brave and stunning. He beat a crack addiction. Like, this is how it was framed.
Well, you think even, let's say, what's the big deal with him even just doing drugs?
I don't give a fuck if he's doing drugs. It's a big deal. Anything the president's son does is a big deal, especially he's a 40-year-old fucking man.
100%. I agree with that.
He's a crackhead.
I agree with that.
Number one, people are just nosy. That's just for starters,
100%,
right?
100%.
But then also, it's like, well, it's not just that. It's like this guy also like had an important position.
Hey, that your son is fucking on camera, just like wilding out, scaling fucking crack.
Yeah.
I thought that was so deep, man. Yo, Hunter is in the hood, bro. Like,
it just makes me question, bro. Like, I don't know. Like, when you start seeing all these people, it's very common among them, you know? Like, fucking, what's this guy, Prince Andrew or whatever? This guy was on some bullshit.
Prince Andrew?
Yeah, that guy, he was mad friends with Jeffrey Epstein and shit, so was fucking...
Oh, that dude, yeah, we talk about
So are these other fucking presidents and shit, and like all these chicks that used to be on Epstein's bullshit, and they were like, yeah, he fucked me, what are you talking about?
I mean,
we did have sex, and it's like, what the fuck?
I think that's just a bigger issue where, like, a lot of people who are like, I don't know, maybe born rich.
Like,
a lot of people are born rich or miserable.
What about like international pedophile rings? Like, is that I mean, if that shouldn't get a little bit more press.
I mean,
because what press did it get? It got the dumbest press ever. It was being covered like the fucking Bill Cosby thing or something.
Yeah, let me see if I can do a Bill Cosby.
There's no consequence. There's not gonna be a fucking consequence.
For who? Bill Cosby?
For any of these fucking people. No, for Bill Cosby, yeah, he's not a fucking politician.
Oh, okay.
And he's definitely not part of a whole trafficking ring. You can't expose all of it. Can you imagine if the entire, like, the leaders of the West fell because there's pictures of half of them fucking 3-year-olds? Like, what could you...
Listen, release the list, man.
Release the list.
I don't think they will, but whatever.
I ain't gonna release shit.
They have to.
Fucking Clinton Chronicles and shit. Did you ever finish watching that?
I don't think so.
Probably not.
I've seen a big chunk of it, though.
Clinton, he was on some other shit.
I'm trying to think of, what was that video I was watching?
There's so much ridiculousness, but it's too easy to be on the internet, you know, because
Have you ever ended up watching a video of Andrew Tate?
Andrew Tate?
He's like this kickboxer, but like he's on some like red pill talking shit now.
No.
He's like a baby Jordan Peterson.
No, I don't think I could handle that.
He be trolling too, though. He's pretty funny.
Sounds like it would take like willpower on my part.
You think so?
I think so.
What was I gonna put? I seen a video about some like I think it's like a battle rapper, Oschino Vasquez. Oschino Vasquez, hot. I always remember that from some battle he did. But I remember him saying in a video, or I seen it recently, where he claims, and apparently this has happened to people.
The battle rapper?
Yeah. I'm about to tell you what he said. That he paid bills with his Social Security before.
That he paid bills with his Social Security?
Or just anything. He paid things with his Social Security before. This was a thing that a lot of people used to say that, like, I forgot what exactly it was, but, like, you would use your Social Security as the accounting number, and then, like, there's something else on the Social Security that it's, like, linked to, like, a bank, supposedly. Like, and then, like, depending on the letter that you have on the Social Security or some shit, that's he can tell from what bank it is, from, like, where, like, what city, what state, or whatever. And then the routing number is from that bank, from whatever the letter it is, and then apparently he had told one of his friends about it, and then it worked and shit. But this is an old-ass video, and I did more research on that, and I just got conflicting answers. Some people said, yeah, that it did work. There's some, like, fucking, and then they'll bring up some constitution law, some bullshit.
I don't know much about identity theft, bro. I don't.
And then some people were like, no, it's a hoax. I even searched up, like, the government had to, like, put out, like, a message, like, yo, this is a hoax. You cannot pay bills with your Social Security.
That's fucking wild, bro.
But yeah, all that shit that he was saying, though, like, it is weird, though, because, like, he was just talking about the Federal Reserve and all that bullshit, but yeah.
Oh, God. Was he talking about the Rockefellers and saying it's privately owned and all that shit?
He might have said that,
He might have said that. I've heard that before. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know where they get that from.
A lot of people do say it's privately owned.
I've still never seen a document that shows...
That said it's privately owned?
That shows how it could possibly even be privately. Like, it just doesn't...
I know we've talked about this. What is it then? It's owned by the government? No, right?
It's not that it's owned by a government. It's an institution, right? Where, like, the person who's in charge, right, like the chairman of the Federal Reserve, is assigned by the fucking president. So the reason they do it that way is because you don't want the president to be in fucking charge of a central bank. Because if the president's in charge of a central bank, he might just want to win the next election and do whatever the fuck it takes, even if it'll, like, make people have more shit now.
Yeah.
It'll fuck them later. Like, there's mad inflation right now, right?
Of course.
The CPI just came out. That shit was like at 9 0.1%.
Dog.
Like, that's fucking insanity.
How bad is that?
That's fucking terrible. We're at like a 40-year high.
Golly.
Right, in terms of the inflation rate. This is like month over month we're measuring.
Oh shit. People say it's gonna, like, shit's gonna crash soon. You think it's actually gonna happen?
I mean, the markets are already down like 20%, so that's already like a significant low.
But that's gonna actually crash. Like, it's gonna be an all-time low.
I mean, I don't think it'll be an all-time low, but I think it'll be like bad, you know. I think it can definitely get a lot worse. And like, people right now, it's weird because like there's all this inflation and shit, but like we still have a good job market.
See what you mean?
Like, people can still go out there and just get a good fucking job.
Biden sent like another billion or some shit to Ukraine.
Fascinating.
Yeah, it doesn't stop. It does not stop, man. You think, I don't know, man, Biden might just fuck us over.
I don't know what the fuck is going to happen with Ukraine. It's hard to say at this point.
I feel like nobody cares anymore.
People here already lost track of it.
100%.
To them, it's just like Afghanistan, but to them, less serious.
Supposedly, Lex Friedman might actually interview Putin.
That'd be some funny shit. Lex Friedman will interview anyone, bro. He would have interviewed fucking Hitler.
I mean, I don't see that as a bad thing.
Nah, I just feel like he'll get like swatted on intellectually. Like, he doesn't know how to handle that shit.
Do you think Hitler would have fucking dog him in a conversation?
Yeah, he would. Fuck yeah, he would.
That would have been amazing.
He doesn't know enough about what these people do to understand them and to be able to... First of all, these people are psychopaths. Like, you really think you're going to have a good faith conversation with a fucking psychopath who's willing to put people in a fucking gas chamber? Like, is this the guy that you're trying to have a good faith conversation?
But just to see, just for content, just to see what this guy would even fucking say, or even, like, you know, it's interesting. People want to see this. Obviously, Hitler's a fucking douchebag.
That's like some clout shit to me, bro. Like, I can't see any, like...
That's like saying you wouldn't, so what, you would never watch fucking Castro videos? Like, you wouldn't just be interested in what the fuck the guy has to say?
I already know what Castro had to say. Like, what else would I get?
So that's it. You're blocked from, like, you're
Bro, I know he's full of shit. I know he's dishonest. I know he lies about everything. Like, what do I have to learn from him besides him lying? Like, what do I need to know?
I'm not saying you have to learn from the videos.
I'm just saying there's nothing like worthy that comes from that. Like, what do you...
Just to watch it, though. It's not even about, like, you know, just to acknowledge it. Like, oh, okay, just see it.
I'm not interested. I'm just not. I could give a... I've seen all these... that was one thing that happened when this guy made a 4-part series where he interviewed Putin. This director, I forget his fucking name. He's an American director. He just went over there and interviewed him for this 4-part Showtime limited series that they did.
Okay.
And basically what happened, Mike, was he just ended up kissing his ass for hours. Did he ask him the hard questions? Yeah, but he answered it in a way where, like, if you don't know anything about politics, you're going to end up liking this guy. Because he knows how to answer those questions. This is what he does. He's trained for that his whole fucking life.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You got to come prepared, and you got to definitely ask the tough questions, and you got to get to it no matter what.
There's no way to prepare for that.
What do you mean? It's not fucking impossible either. Like, if Lex Friedman does do the interview with Putin, he definitely has to come through with the questions.
What could he ask him that would shed light on anything?
I don't know. I'm not a politician. I'm not super interested in, like, what's going on right over there. But he could definitely ask some, like, tough questions for him.
Yeah, he could. I mean, this Oliver Stone, that's the name of the guy. Oliver Stone asked him the tough questions. It just made Putin answer like a charismatic guy who did nothing wrong.
See, but then I would be like, oh, but then you definitely have to rebuttal him like, be like, yo, you're lying. Like, a lot of people.
Well, if he says you're lying, he might take that the wrong way and just leave the interview like he's done before. It wouldn't.
Well, I'm not saying.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this guy's gonna cover his tracks. But you would have to, like, say, like, yeah, like, yo, bro, like, you can't just, like, you know, you would have to rebuttal him in, like, the best way you can without offending him. Obviously, that's all I'm saying. Like, it could definitely be something worth watching, just to even just see the person. That's like saying you won't see the person. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
I see what you're trying to say.
You'll see a fraud. That's who he always is.
I get it.
And he's not gonna present himself for an interview as if he's not a fraud. Like,
but some people could just catch things. Maybe they fuck up. You never know. That's what I'm saying.
You do. I mean, they do.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you never know, though. So that's why I don't know. I just think it'll be, like, worth watching. So you wouldn't watch a Putin interview?
If I watch it, it won't be because I think there's anything useful in it. It'll just be another shitty YouTube video to watch. It won't be anything.
I'm not saying that it's going to be informative and you're going to be like, wow, I'm informed.
Yeah,
like, this guy's amazing.
I understand.
But I'm just saying just to watch it in general. Like, that's all I'm saying.
I just felt like I saw that already with Oliver Stone, and it was fucking dookie.
With Oliver Stone. I don't know. I've seen a Putin interview. I wonder if it was that one I seen. I don't remember. But I would definitely let's change the topic. You wouldn't want to see like just people from the past, like if you had the chance to have them interviewed. And just like that would be amazing.
So some of them, yeah.
Bad or good, like just to see people's perspective on life. They could be the shittiest person on earth, but just to like get a glimpse and just realize like just how they are. I think that's interesting. I don't know.
The only thing I have is that like if the person is like trying to do an act, if their entire life is an act,
okay,
right, then it's just.
I see what you mean in that part.
It's the same old in my opinion, right?
I guess.
It's not that they can't...
To an extent.
I'm just saying it wouldn't be my priority. Like, my priority would be, like, people who weren't on that. It's not about evil or good. It's about, like, would they be, like... would they try to answer your question genuinely?
You don't think Hitler would have?
No.
People knew you don't think people knew that they had concentration camps? I mean, obviously they got to the point where they did. And
they didn't even talk about it because it was a dictatorship.
I know they didn't talk about it, but I'm saying outside. No, nobody in the outside of Germany.
Yeah, they knew it, but like not to that extent. It was like after the war when they liberated it and shit.
Obviously, then everybody knew.
Then it became like all the horrors of it came out, and it was just like, dude, what the fuck, you know?
I see what you mean.
Yeah, that was something else. I would prefer to like interview people who were, again, good.
Well, this is hypothetically, of course, but if they would say the truth, then it would be. That's the thing. A lot of them are acts, like you say, so they would just stick to their act or whatever.
Yeah, that's part of the thing that makes it futile. You know, it's like I can imagine if these guys, if they think of it like. Let's say Putin had a serious, like, mental issue, right?
Okay.
And he went to a therapist.
Right.
Well, in therapy, like, your therapist, he's not he's not a mind reader. You can't know if you're lying or not.
Yeah, you're going to have to say...
And he goes off your shit. You're not going to be able to address the mental issue at all if he's continuously full of shit.
I see what you mean.
Right.
No, of course, I know. But that's why Joe Rogan... didn't want to do Trump, because Trump was going to do an episode with him. Supposedly it was going to be at the White House.
Yeah.
That would have been insane.
Rogan is wild with those political interviews because he's all over the fucking place.
But he did Bernie, so it was like... But I feel him, though. I think he feels that, like, Trump would be on some playing game shit, like an act, you feel me? It'll be a performance.
Bruh, Bernie's whole shit is a performance, though. Like... How is it not? Like, do people not see that he says the same shit every interview that he's been saying for decades?
Richard Wolff claims that...
Like, he's memorized all this shit. He just repeats it. He did the same shit on Rogan shit.
Richard Wolff claims that Bernie doesn't even really want the socialism that he wants, you know?
No, he claims that he's some sort of moderate or some shit.
That he's on some, like, he just really wanted just free healthcare, free schools, but still with the same capitalism that's going on right now, you know?
Yeah, no, I hear that.
You don't think those were his actual...
That's why the European economy is that much weaker than ours, you know? You know, the euro just reached the same value as the U.S. dollar.
Is that bad or good?
That's bad for them.
That's bad for them?
I mean, their currency is being valued less relative to the dollar.
Oh, I see what you mean, because it always was worth more. Like, when you go to Europe, you gotta, like, pay more and shit.
If you gave, like, $1, you would receive, like, 79 cents or some shit.
Damn, no way. So it's at the same level as U.S. now? That's swag.
But you gotta understand, this is like a whole fucking not the whole continent, but like most like huge fucking chunk of that continent.
Damn.
Like, yo.
So now we pulling up with the dollars. Where the swag
like
ones?
all those countries, they can't even like.
Damn.
All of them together don't have the GDP of the U.S.
That is tough.
That's wild.
It's just going down.
The GDP?
Yeah, or whatever.
Probably GDP is still going up, but they're still having some serious issues there, though. Like, people are not expecting that in the near future they're going to perform as well as the U.S., especially since the U.S. has the world's reserve currency. The dollar is lit.
We out here.
We got the Masonic symbols on the back and shit. Shit's fly.
We're swagging. They never called me back, by the way.
Of course they didn't. They read right through that shit.
Damn, bro.
Yeah.
I was really waiting for a call back.
Would you have joined?
Hell yeah. I would have gone to the extent that I can without, like, really going balls deep, you know? Like, if they start asking me for, like, certain, like, personal info and shit, I'm like, I'm out.
Right.
But I would have played the game, you know? Just for content-wise.
I feel like the Masons are, like, very... I mean, I don't know. It seems,
That's the thing. We don't know. That's why it's so interesting.
but so many of them are just, like, regular fucking people and shit, you know? The thing is, like, for example, the presidents of the United States and all that shit, you'd see...
Weren't they all Freemasons?
A lot of them were, yeah.
Do they just, what they be doing in there, bro? They be having boy orgies or some shit?
It's hard to say, bro. I was never allowed in, you know? It's a weird thing, so... But there is one thing to be said, though, like, the architecture in DC and all that shit, like, bro, that shit is wild. It's so full of Masonic shit. And even, like, the dudes that'll just come out and you ask them, they'll be like, oh, yeah, it's everywhere.
The founding fathers and George Washington, all these dudes were Masons?
Yeah, but even a lot of that architecture, like, came even later. Like, I think the last Mason president that we had that he admitted to being a Mason
Okay.
was Gerald Ford.
He was a Mason?
Yeah.
Ford guy? No way.
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting.
So to me, that's like...
This is the same guy who made Ford, right? The cars?
No, that's Henry Ford.
That's Henry Ford? No way.
Yeah, the guy who hated the Jews.
Henry Ford hated the Jews?
He hated the Jews. He
Why?
even published a shitload of, like, manuscripts out in public and shit called the International Jew.
Okay.
They ended up turning it into a book,
What the hell?
right? The International Jew by Henry Ford. And it's like all these pamphlets and shit where he's saying there's like this global conspiracy and they're trying to, like, the Jewish cartel, banking, finance cartel is trying to destroy his business or whatever.
What's Henry Ford? White American? What?
Yeah, he was just a white American dude.
Okay. Why the hate for Jews, though?
He thought there was like a mad conspiracy going on, you know? I'm still fascinated with all the eugenics shit that was going on here. People were so in love with that shit back then, like, especially in the South and shit. Like, goddamn, people were saying they were gonna have death panels and shit.
Didn't Mel Gibson not fuck with Jews either?
Yeah, there was something along those lines when he made, like, the Passion of Christ.
Oh man, I mean,
I don't know what it is with people thinking about Jesus and then there's some anti-Semitic shit related to that, apparently. I don't know what the fuck goes on with people. Like,
I seen Passion of the Christ.
oh my God, it was the Jews that killed him. It was like, well, it seems like it's a Jew killing a Jew. This is like black on black crime. Like, what do you care?
Passion of the Christ was dope.
Yeah, it was fly. I loved it.
That's pretty dope.
It was great. Very well done, you know.
Only other Mel Gibson movie I've seen was damn, I don't even remember the name of it.
Same. Oh, I've seen Apocalypto. That was a great movie.
Oh, there we go, Apocalypto.
A beautiful movie.
Yo, that is fucking...
Excellent.
That's his best, probably.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus Christ, that movie is insane.
I did see this interview because, you know, when I mentioned Apocalypto, it just reminded me of all the Mayans and shit like that, like the Aztec.
Yeah.
How they used to sacrifice people.
Oh, yeah.
And
sacrificers.
Yeah, and they would give them a bunch of, like...
the volcano throwers. Swag.
I like the way they did it in Apocalypto, though. That shit was...
How do they do it again?
Bro, I swear to God, it felt like they just...
Damn, I haven't seen that movie in so long.
It really did. It really just felt like he just put his hand in there and just fucking grabbed his heart out.
Oh, shit.
Like, that's really how it felt.
Yeah, that movie was dope. I remember, like, one of the chicks was pregnant, right? In one of the parts.
Oh, yeah.
That's one part I remember. I don't remember much of it.
Yeah, that really increased the tension.
Yeah, I remember that part. That shit was dope. Damn, Apocalypto's fire. I gotta watch that again, bro.
It's a great fucking movie, man. And one of the things that fascinated me, though, about that shit, because I was listening to this interview the other day.
Oh, yeah, the Aztecs, right?
Yeah, the Aztec shit, the human sacrifice shit. You know, because they would give them psychedelics in order to prepare them for, like, the ritual ceremony.
Oh, God.
Just to make them very suggestive and shit.
That sucks, dude. You're going to kill me while... I mean, actually, swag. I'll swag that.
No, I'm not swagging that, man.
That's better to die so. It's better than dying sober.
No way. Not on that, man.
You don't think so?
Like, give me some booze or something, but not that.
What did they give him? Like LSD or some?
Just like shrooms and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, that shit'll fucking have you wilding out.
You don't think you'll feel it less probably?
No, your fear is magnetized, bro.
Jesus Christ.
Magnetized.
Yeah, never mind.
And then you're way more suggestive, so you're like a fucking sheep.
You're just down for anything.
Yeah, it's like you don't even have free will.
Jesus Christ.
You don't even feel like you do.
That's fucked up, man. How could you just launch someone in a volcano?
I don't know, bro.
That's gotta be...
They had so many ways to do it, though. It was so fucking wild. It's trippy. You know? Just splatter all this blood, and then you keep looking up to see if it started raining again. You know?
Volcano one might be the coolest one to go out, though. The coolest way. Because I'm pretty sure it's an instant death.
Yo, but, like... getting thrown into that shit and just like seeing yourself going towards it, like goddamn.
Your heart immediately drops. Like your balls dropped, your heart dropped. You probably take the biggest dookie right before, like you.
Is that how you would prefer? Like if it had to be you, like.
No, I'm saying like you'd probably be so scared, you probably drop just a fucking foot-long deuce. Like just how fucking terrified you are, bro. Like.
But if you had to choose, like, which one would you choose? Like,
what are the options?
Let's say one of them is just like...
What are the actual options? What do we have from back then?
Let's say one of them is just decapitating your head and just rolling down a pyramid.
That is pretty quick.
But you never know what them rusty-ass blades they had, you know?
Yeah, they might not actually kill me, and then, like, who knows,
And then he might have to just... like, oh, fuck, I would die already, goddamn.
There's the volcano throwers. There's, like, what else? I don't know. I don't know my knowledge on, like, how fucking helped suicides. Well, not even. They were plain murders.
It's quite a question.
What else? How else did people die back in the days?
Maybe they could poison you.
Damn.
Slow, painful death where you paralyze yourself until your heart is paralyzed.
Was that Plato's death? No, whatever.
Oh yeah, they gave Plato a brew. Oh yeah.
Damn, poison might be not swag at all. Cause that's
not a fan.
That's torturing for real.
Not a fan. Even the way they do it now with like the injection.
Yeah.
They do when somebody gets like the. Anyways, well, you know, when somebody gets a death sentence and they inject them and shit. They use like 3 injections and shit, and
sometimes people are watching it. That's a crazy ass fucking experience.
Oh yeah.
That's insane, bro. I've seen like TV shows that kind of like show an example of it. That shit's wild, bro.
That shit'll fuck with me. First of all, because, like, they see you, but you don't see them.
Yeah, that's how it is. Yeah, that's the...
And it's like, this is the final moment.
That's fucked
And
up,
there's
bro.
no transparency in it.
Bro, have you seen, like, I've seen some shit on, like, fucking Snapchat or some bullshit where, like, it shows all the inmates with, that had death penalties.
Yeah.
And all their last meals before they...
Oh, it was ridiculous shit.
Yeah,
ridiculous shit.
I wish I knew off the top. I think one of them was like, some dude like went all out, bruh. He was like, yo, give me this, give me that. Like,
he was trying to delay that shit.
Yeah, like, bruh, fuck that. Like, I forgot how many things he had ordered.
Wait for me to finish the meal.
I think some other guy literally just asked for a cigarette. Which is like, bro, what's your thoughts on the death penalty?
It's hard to say, because, like, on the one hand, you do got to recognize that, like, you know, should you be an institution that gives it out if you can't be sure that you're giving it to the right guy? Because there's been so many fucking cases at this point of like innocent people that got the death penalty to where I'm just like, what the fuck happened?
Do you think it should just be banned permanently?
I don't know, man, because there's definitely some people that deserve it. You know what I mean?
See what you mean.
And then other people are like, well, who are you to say whether he deserves it?
That is a good point, though.
How do you think he'll suffer more? You give him that, or you give him what? Like fucking locked in solitary forever? Like what? What are the?
That is a good idea.
No, that's what they do in Alaska. They try to kill themselves. They all have psychiatrists. They're all on meds, and they all try to kill themselves. It's that wild.
Is there death penalty in Alaska?
No, that's why they're all in solitary, and they go fucking crazy. There's a great HBO documentary about it, bro. You can watch it, but it's very depressing. The most stable guy I saw there was one who was well behaved enough to be able to have a TV.
Damn. Fuck it.
But he was still crazy as fuck.
Yeah.
This dude was like off as fuck.
What do you think's worse? Would you rather die?
I'd rather die.
For real?
I cannot, bro. It's like solitary. Like, bro, that shit fucking shrinks the matter in your brain matter goes down. There's no stimulus in your environment.
Yeah, bro.
It's complete torture for like until it's over, until you die. And you start just going crazy.
Wouldn't that be good for like people who really deserve it, as you were saying though?
That's what I'm saying. But I'm saying like, bro, if you're all right, you're saying.
And if they kill themselves, well, that's on them, you know.
They're not allowed to.
Obviously, you wouldn't allow. Obviously, don't allow them to, but.
But see, then that's just furthering the torture because they're trying to make it stop.
See what you mean?
Because if we're trying to say, oh, you know, we're who are you to send somebody to? Who are you to send someone to infinite torture and stop them from ending it? You know.
What about like on some redemption show? You don't think people deserve second chances?
Man, ain't no second chance. Once you did all that time, there's no recovering from it.
No, I don't mean that. I mean just like for like things that people have done.
What do you mean by second chance? Like
you don't believe that people can change?
Yeah, people can definitely change, but if you
actually feel bad for what they did.
But if you're a psychopath, like that's not gonna change.
Obviously, that's like the worst case scenario.
You know what I'm saying? And that's usually the type of shit that like.
No, because you just said in the beginning a lot of normal people that didn't even deserve it got the fucking
that was
penalty.
but those are people that didn't do anything though.
Oh, you mean they were like
they were innocent.
Wrong,
that's what I'm saying. Like if it's that incompetent of a system, then that's a case to be made for that. You know, because it's like. If you're gonna give out that sentence, like you gotta give people that are innocent like a fight for their life. You know what I mean? Like they should be able to have enough time to like fucking.
For sure. It's tough though. It is a tough one because like I always thought about that.
And then there's also Gen Pop. You know, general population.
Let's go.
You know, you
might
might wife up one of the man boys, one of the girl boys. The after a while, because that's what happens over there, bro. I told you about how fruity shit gets in prison.
So what's for the argument's sake? Who deserves a death penalty then?
Listen, man, I say whoever I say deserves it.
Okay.
And whoever someone else says deserves it, if I agree with them, they deserve it.
I know. I'm just saying. Like, what do you think is like a deservable crime?
That's a good question.
Because a lot of
I think mass murder.
Right, like on some school shooter shit.
Yeah.
You think school shooters should definitely get a death penalty? They should just.
Oh yeah.
I mean, yeah, I kind of agree. Killing people for no reason is like OD, like. But then they would say like, oh, it's a mental thing, and then just put them in a whole crazy people bin, and they're stuck there for the rest of their life.
Might be worse for him, be honest with you.
Whichever case, right?
You ever seen One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest?
No.
Great movie. The author wrote the entire thing when he was on LSD.
That's great.
It's a fucking classic, in my opinion. Yeah. Psychiatric hospitals or some other shit. There's this, you lived in New York. Maybe you know it. There's this huge psychiatric hospital in New York called Bellevue.
No, don't know about it.
And
where is it?
Beats me, bro. I have no idea which one of the boroughs it's in.
Okay, got you.
But I can definitely tell you there was some weird shit going on. Like there was this one guy, and it's shocking how specific like the issues they have are. Because there was one guy who came up, right, and he went there and he was like, "I'm God, like I have returned," and they're like, "But why are you here though? Like, is it just because you think you're God?" He's like, No. That's not a problem. What I'm trying to tell you is, I sent a letter to the president telling him that I'm God and that he needs to recognize me as such. And basically, like, the Secret Service and these people started getting worried.
All right.
And here I am. With that type of shit.
So a guy just pulled up to the hospital saying all that?
No, he wrote a letter to the president. And they had already had him there against his will. Like, he didn't want to be there.
All right.
Right.
Okay.
And so, like, bro, those psychiatrists, the hours they were, like, bro, I don't know how they do it. Because these are, like, emergency, like, people that try to kill themselves, like, OD, violent, all that shit.
Yeah.
Anyways, this guy, the guy who thinks he's God, right?
Yeah.
This dude is, like, he's so clear, he's so concise, right, about everything. Like, he's perfect. He's zero mental health issues.
Okay.
Except he thinks he's God.
That's it.
That's
his only issue. Golly.
But he believes it though.
To the fucking core. Like there's no like changing his mind.
That was it. And I'm thinking like, yo, this is some serious manic shit. Like what is going on here, bro? You're gonna come down from this one day, right? Like
has to, right?
And there was this other lady, my dude, Mike, bruh.
That's a weird that's some narcissistic shit. Like,
I don't know what the fuck to call it.
Just to think you're God, though?
It's fucked up, though, because it's like, it was, like, against his will. Like, he really believed it. He wasn't, like, trying to lie to people or convince other people. It was just, like, he was just trying to get them to recognize what to him was already just common sense. Like, bro, why don't they...
They don't understand.
I'm the savior. Like, I'm just trying to help you guys understand that I'm here to save you.
Guys. Come on.
It was that type of shit.
What's up with y'all?
And then there was this lady who was there. I know
a bunch of people like that.
For real?
Not
that deep.
Yeah, but
not
people
God.
that are like that, of course, bro. There's a bunch of crazy ass people in Hialeah, bro.
Nah, bro, but I'm talking about like, all right, like, how do I give you another example? Like, there's this one chick, right? She pulls up, and you see her, and she's just like fucking ecstatic, bro. Like over the moon, like, oh, she's so happy, and she's smiling, and everything is fucking amazing, and she's sober. So it's not a drug thing.
Oh, God.
She's been there before. Her meds are regulated and shit.
Energizer bunnies just in her.
And then they did a follow-up where they came back to the same place 6 months later, right?
Okay.
She's fucking crying, sobbing, like the exact opposite, right?
Okay.
Fucking like, I want to end it.
Figured.
Mom, why didn't I say I loved you more before you know, like that type of shit. And it was just the exact opposite. And it was like, bro, what a beautiful example of bipolar disorder. I mean, it sucks to be her, don't get me wrong. Like, that's brutal. Like, that is horrific, like, to go through that.
For sure.
But, goddamn, if that wasn't a perfect case of bipolar disorder, I mean, goddamn.
I mean, yeah.
It was there. You know? You could see the whole thing. And there's this other guy who, I forgot what the fuck his issue was. He just, I don't know, he wanted to get out or some shit.
Okay.
I forgot what the fuck his issue was. Bro, there's like I swear to God, like an unintentional comedic element to the way this shit was directed. It's like they found the perfect people.
What is the name of this?
I forgot the name, but I think if I recall correctly, the name of the psychiatric hospital is Bellevue.
Bellevue, but you don't know the name of what is it, a movie, show?
I think if you Google search like Bellevue documentary.
Oh, it's a documentary.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it wasn't a movie. This is like a document. This is like the day-to-day. You see the day-to-day of these people, and it's like fucking wild. The people come in, and it's
like some American Horror Story shit, but just not on that level, obviously.
Yeah, it gets to a point where they just like see regulars and shit. Like some people that just go in and out of the ward, you know?
Damn.
It's that vibe. And on a weekend, like Bellevue is, I mean, you know how many people are in New York. I mean, that shit is just crazy.
There's probably a bunch of like crazy ass things going on in like, what are those places called? I guess like the loony bins.
Yeah, the psych wards.
The psych wards. Like, imagine. I know there's like horror stories like about, why is it such a, like a cliche thing that it's like a bunch of crazy shit happens there?
Well, a lot of crazy shit has happened.
Yeah? Historically?
Yeah. A lot of abuse.
I was gonna say it's probably that, right? The most?
A lot of mental patients were the victims of abuse.
Is it like that, like a lot of them actually aren't crazy and they're just stuck there? I know that's a bunch that happens too. It has to be.
Well, at least here in Florida, through the Baker Act, they can only get you for 72 hours, and then they gotta, like, give you your shit. And you still have rights, even then. So you can still, like, petition for shit. But one interesting case...
So it's a state thing? With different laws and shit?
Well, here we have that one.
Okay, gotcha.
But there was this, there's this documentary called Titty Cut Follies.
Okay.
And it's a great documentary if you want to see how fucked up shit used to be in psychiatric wards before some major reforms. This film actually caused there to be like
reforms.
Reforms, like changes in laws, because people went to see this.
It's like the R. Kelly documentary.
They were like disgusted seeing this shit.
I imagine.
This is a documentary where the people, these are supposed to be people that you're trying to help them get better. Imagine going to a fucking hospital, any hospital.
Just beating the shit out of them.
But a psychiatric hospital is the only exception, where you're allowing people to sleep on the fucking floor butt naked in the cold.
What the fuck?
Right, without a fucking bed, without
Holy
anything.
Shit. That's fucked up.
And just people trying to make the most common sense, like asking for the most rational shit and just being treated like shit by everyone who works there.
Damn.
And this is how they behaved on tape. I don't even want to see what they did to these poor fucking people.
Damn, on tape they were acting like this?
Yeah, this was the documentary was disgusting, bro. And they would get them to do these performances and shit. That's how it starts.
That's American Horror Story in a nutshell, that season.
Oh, yeah. And it's creepy because, like, the whole thing was filmed in black and white.
Oh,
so
man.
it just gives it a creepier vibe to it. Like, I don't even know what to tell you, bro. It's fucking sick.
That's something that a lot of people don't talk about.
Yeah, they don't. A lot of people don't know how bad it used to be. I mean, there was a whole thing where they would give people lobotomies.
What's that?
Lobotomy is just like where they make incisions and shit, surgery in the brain. Where they take parts out, suck part of it. So, like, for example, they used to think that they could cure the neuroses or the, neurological, psychological illness
that you have
by fucking poking holes in your goddamn
that would work?
Prefrontal cortex. They would literally fucking do shit to it and fucking poke holes in it and take parts of it out. Just shit like that.
Holy shit.
There was a guy who used to go in a fucking van, this guy, in a fucking van. This surgeon would go around, he would just give people lobotomies, like cut out a part of their brain, like half their brain, take that shit out to cure some sort of fucking mental illness. It was all the rage back then, even though it did not fucking work. It just ruined
like
so
the
much.
ice cream man, he just had his own truck.
That shit is so incredibly illegal nowadays. On top of the fact that it doesn't cure shit.
Yeah.
It's like, can you imagine that, like, you get depressed?
Living back then must have been, like, so free and wild. I imagine, bro.
Yeah, I mean...
Like, it must have been...
Not in that place, but yeah.
In a way that, obviously, in a way it must have felt like... Just I imagine. If I had a fucking time machine, I'd definitely go back.
Had to be in a certain sense, right? Like there was
Shit must have been feeling so liberating. Just like there's no. I mean, I don't know how back I want to take it, but I'm trying to think of like a good actual time.
Hard to say. Some people would want to do it just to get the fuck away from the internet for a few days.
That's what I'm saying. Like no internet.
There's
like,
so much shit.
No phone.
Yeah.
Like pure man to woman communication. Like, damn. But a lot of people like the 50s.
You'll miss Pornhub.
Nah, dog. I'll be smashing even more chicks back then, I think. You think it was easier back then? Definitely.
It depends, bro. Like, what if you didn't know all the social cues? You would have to, like, there
wasn't even social cues back then.
You got to relearn the swagger and shit.
I'm trying to think of a good year. Like, what was going on in the 50s? Oh, shit. Cop car chasing going down in Hialeah right now as we speak. Some cop car just passed by.
I don't know what was trending back then, bro. Like, what era are we talking about? Like,
that's what I'm saying. I'm just trying to give you some eras, and I'm trying to see if you could tell me what was going on during that time. Like the 50s, what was going on? Elvis? Is Elvis the 50s?
Yeah.
Yeah? You think that was a good time? Was that the Vietnam War?
Like you, not very much.
Yeah, I can't do it.
That was the 60s.
That was the 60s.
Yeah.
Okay.
You had the Kennedy death.
What were the 30s like?
Recession, depression, shitty economy, no jobs.
So, you think that was a liberating time for people?
Right before World War.
Never mind. Let's go back a little way more. Maybe
start at around like 1945, maybe.
45?
Like right after the war ended.
Everybody was happy, right? Everybody was fucking, right?
Yeah, you want to go to the 50s. That was the time when it was like easy as fuck. Like you just got out of high school and just got any piece of shit job and you had 3 cars and a house.
And mad bitches fucking. I imagine everybody was happy. They just won the war. Fucking, I wonder how money was back then. People weren't millionaires like crazy back then, right? I mean, the elites were always stacked, but...
I mean, the wealth... The wealth was wild. Like
it was wild back then?
It was wild. It was the fastest growth ever. I mean, think about it. Like, the U.S., not only did it win the war, not only did it have the world's, like, currency.
Best money, yeah. The dollar, duh.
It also didn't get destroyed because it was on the other side of the fucking planet. Like, all of Europe just fucking destroyed.
Damn.
You know?
We had it good.
Or, like, severely affected by it. Like, Spain didn't participate in the war directly, right? Like, they were, like, sort of neutral.
Yeah.
Even though they were leaning towards the fascists, but when they saw that they were losing, they were like, we changed our minds or whatever,
Yeah.
So it was that type of shit. Yeah. That's some weird shit, man. Like, we were so lucky. Like, the U.S. was so lucky in that way. I'm
actually thinking pussy might have been actually harder back then. Now that I'm, like, actually thinking.
These bitches, you had to get married to your high school sweetheart or some shit.
That's what I'm saying. So now I'm thinking back then pussy might be actually you got to be way more invested.
On the other hand, if you cheat, like, fuck is she gonna do? Get a divorce? Oh, she a hoe. She a hoe. They're gonna say she's a hoe, even though you're the one that cheated. Think about it.
Being a thought wasn't even like a fucking thought.
That's
in people's heads back then. That was I needed a doom moment for sure. I didn't even catch that.
This shit fucking tried me. We're on 4.
Damn.
We're on 4 just when we were getting ready to talk about. I don't know. I feel like we were gonna end up talking about wife beating.
I mean,
it's relevant, right?
Back then, people.
It depends on how far back you want to go, Mike. But like, I just wanted to mention before we end or anything that
right. We'll finish.
That like you could like literally rape your wife, and then like if she tried to like go to court or whatever, it'd be like, well, that's a family dispute. Like that's how can
that was the thing back then.
They
right?
would like laugh at you, be like, how the fuck can your husband rape you? He's your husband. That doesn't make any sense.
Damn, that was a little wild.
That to me, that's like, yo, what the fuck?
Like, dude, people could have. Never mind. Just all right, dog. We're out. N APE.
Let's end it on that.
Peace out. That is hilarious.